Mhm. Hi, thank you for joining us. We do have about 1 more minute, so we'll wait before we actually start and see if anybody else jumps in the room with us.
Welcome.
All right, it's 6:15 right now, so I guess we can go ahead and start. So good evening. My name is Caroline Holloman. I am the Cambridge coordinator at Northwest Elementary. And with me is my assistant principal, Claire Ennis, and my principal, Nicole Reynolds.
Good
So thank you
evening.
for joining us. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen for a moment so I can show my presentation. Okay. So this is part of the Pasco Pathways. We've gone virtual this year through Zoom. So this particular presentation is for parents and guardians who are interested in their elementary K-5 students in participating in the Cambridge program for the following school year. Any applicants to our program must be zoned for our Northwest Cambridge boundary. That's typically anything north of Ridge Road. Pretty much anything south of Ridge Road would either be Gulf Trace or Sunray, but there are some little weird pockets here and there. So if you're unsure of your boundary, you could always go to the Pasco County School website and do a search for the magnet address. And you can put in your address and it'll tell you exactly what schools you can apply to for the school choice program. Okay. So thank you so much for attending tonight. This event is a way for you to learn about all the possible choices that your student has in Pasco County, as well as some of the options at your zone school. So there are other options that you might be interested in. So thank you for coming to ours to learn about the Cambridge program. So attend sessions that are based on your interest and those of your students. If you have any specific questions or need or more information, we have our exhibitors tab that you can go to, and available there is Miss Stephanie Shaw, another assistant principal at Northwest. So she can answer any questions that you might have if I don't answer them in this presentation as well. Just some information that you need to be aware of. Any application, whether it's to our program or another program, must be submitted through My Student. If you are unable to apply through that program or not sure how to do it, there are sessions this evening on how to apply, or you can go to our virtual table and they can give you more information, but you can always go to the county website and more information is always available there, or you can contact me. I'll have my contact information at the end. The window to actually apply to any of the school choice programs opens January 7th. So when we come back from winter break, and it's just a short few weeks that you have to apply. For our program, you'd be notified in March. Our program is strictly lottery. So if you're not zoned, or originally zoned for Northwest, your child will be placed in the lottery, and however many seats we have available, that many students will be selected via that process. So in Pasco County Schools, we have a very distinct mission and our vision. So our vision is that all students achieve success in college, career, and life. So whatever path students take, we want them to be successful. And we do that through our mission that we exist to provide a world-class education for all our students. That is really nice. That ties in so well with Cambridge's mission statement, because their job is to deliver a world-class international education through provision of high quality curriculum, assessment, and services. So we provide our students with those curricula and the services that they need to be successful in college, career, and life. So Cambridge, together with the schools that have their programs, such as us here at Northwest, develop Cambridge learners. So we want our students to be confident, responsible, reflective, innovative, and engaged, and we'll discuss what those attributes really mean so that they are equipped for success in the fast-changing modern world. So when our students leave here, Northwest, we want them to be able to go to middle school and be successful, to go to high school and be successful, and wherever they go after high school to be successful, because we've given them the skills necessary to be successful. So why choose the Cambridge program? So this video specifically looks at Cambridge primary. So what students will be doing and reasons why to choose this program for your elementary school age child. Is it playing? My sound okay? So the Cambridge program really is about making sure our students have the skills needed to be ready for whatever challenges they face after they leave us. So let me give you a little hit. Oops, wrong screen. There we go. So a little history about the program itself. So when we talk about Cambridge, we are talking about that University of Cambridge in England. So this program was developed 150 years ago and has changed as to meet the needs of the students as the times have changed. So when it began, it was just started with 370 students in a total of 7 cities across England. Today, now there's more than 8 million students receiving this curriculum in more than 160 countries. So it really is an international program, allowing our students to really think globally and be ready for that global challenge. So when we say it's an international program, it truly is an international program. So this video is going to highlight some students around the world and what they've gained by being participants in this program.
I think it's really important to keep on learning and to never stop and always have a passion for learning.
I study medicine in King's College London. The Cambridge International A-level program is well recognized here, and I knew it would provide a good basis for me to start studying medicine here.
It's not just the teacher hands us information and we go and read. We actually talk about it, discuss, argue, debate on certain matters so we fully understand what we're doing.
I love English literature. I have a passion for it and I hope to follow it through in further education.
It gives you the opportunity to learn skills that will apply for a lifetime. It confirms my belief that I can do well in this subject and going to do even better in college. Critical reading skills and analytical skills and writing skills have made me grow into a more mature and open-minded person.
So the Cambridge program really is about igniting a student's passion and for learning and giving them the skills to be successful. So the earlier we can start this process is always going to be better. So what we have is the Cambridge pathway. So here at the elementary school, they're starting at the Cambridge primary level. This is typically grade ages 5 to 11, so our kindergartners through 5th grade. From there, if they excel in the program and they want to continue on, then they can go to Cambridge Lower Secondary, which is middle school here. And that also continues in middle school. They'll do upper secondary work. So in middle school, they'll start doing some high school level work. And at the high school level, they'll start doing college level work, which is the Cambridge Advanced. So the earlier that they start learning these skills will prepare them for the future to be set up for success. So what makes a Cambridge classroom different than a traditional classroom? We offer a more enriched curriculum, and we accelerate students beyond what they would receive in a traditional classroom. So we have way more learning activities and experience that are hands-on. We allow students to inquire on their own with some project-based learning. It's more of a student-centered learning approach where the students are guiding the learning and the teachers are facilitating, with an emphasis on students becoming more technology literate. So they're learning those research skills that are so important in this ever-changing world. So at the beginning, we mentioned that the Cambridge mission was to have students that are confident, reflective, innovative, engaged, and responsible. So we want to instill these ideals in our students and our teachers as well. So when we ask and look for a confident student, we're looking for students that are confident in working with information, that whether that's their own or those of others. They are secure in their knowledge, but they're not afraid to make mistakes, because they understand that they are going to learn from those mistakes and they're not going to take things for granted. So when we say, what is really a Cambridge student? We know that student is secure in their knowledge, unwilling to take things for granted. They're going to ask a lot of questions, and they're also ready to take intellectual risks. They're not afraid to be wrong because they understand that's where the real learning happens, with that productive struggle. They can explore, they can evaluate, they can argue, and they can argue respectively because they understand that the other people are going to have views and other people are going to have opinions, and they're able to defend their own views and their own opinions properly. So when we walk into a classroom where our students are confident, what is that going to look like? Our students are engaged. They're talking about specific information and it's lively. It's loud. So sometimes people are scared of this classroom because it's a loud classroom, but these kids are working to a level that they've never had before. They're taking risks with their information, they're asking questions, and they will debate and argue. And it's fantastic to see. We also want our students to be responsible, not only for themselves, but also understand that they have a responsibility globally and to be respectful of their needs as well as respectful of the needs of others. They take ownership of their learning. They understand what goals need to be met and they set them for themselves. And they insist on intellectual integrity, not only from themselves, but others as well. They want to work collaboratively. They want to be in the small groups and they want to work with each other and they want to support each other in their learning. They understand that what they do not only impacts themselves, but impacts others and the rest of the world. So what do we mean when we look for a student that is responsible? They're taking ownership of their learning. They understand what their goal is and have a way to meet that goal. They want academic integrity, not only from themselves, but everybody else. They insist upon it. They want to work with others, and they understand that what they do impacts the rest of the classroom, the school, and their area. So if we were to walk into a classroom of responsible learners, we have students that are not only working at their own pace, but they might be working in small groups. The teacher is more of a facilitator of the students' learning, and everyone is working towards a set goal. So the teacher gives them their goal, they figure out how they want to get to that goal. We also want these students to be reflective, understanding that learning is a process, okay? And we're always continually learning. They need to understand what they are good at and what their strengths and weaknesses are, and work and play to those strengths and figure out how we can get our weaknesses better. They're concerned with the process as well as what they're learning. So Cambridge students that are reflective, understand themselves as learners, they know what their strengths are and they play to their strengths, they ignite their passion and what they're good at. They're concerned with the process and they understand what they need to do and what strategies can be put in place so that they will always be lifelong learners. So when we walk into a classroom of reflective learners, the students are using mark schemes, or we call them rubrics, to understand what they need to do. They're always evaluating themselves. They will evaluate not only themselves, but they'll look at their peers' work. And it's not specifically about a grade, it's about the learning process. So I might have gotten a 92, but they understand, okay, I got a 92. That means I lost 8 points. So what can I do? What can I learn from this? So next time I can always do better. So it's about growing and always being a continual learner. It's not, I got the A, I'm done learning. It's, I always want to learn more and do better each and every time. We want our students to be innovative. They're ready to take on any new challenge. These are our kids who think outside the box. When there's an unfamiliar problem, they'll come up with creative strategies to solve that problem. They're adaptable, they're flexible, and they're always coming up with new ways that I didn't even think of before. Right? So these students are going to welcome new challenge and they're going to meet those challenges head on in ways that we might not think of. They'll apply their knowledge to solve unfamiliar problems, as adaptable and flexible. So in a classroom of innovative students, they're exploring, they have choices upon their learning. We see a lot of differentiation to meet the students' individual needs. They have their goals set and they figure out the way to get to that goal. A lot of hands-on learning. The teacher is a guide in the room. The students have their path. The teacher helps them to get there and facilitates that learning along the way. And then engage. So what does it mean to be an engaged student? Is that they are ready to make a difference. So not only intellectually, but globally as well. They are curious, they have a spirit of inquiry and they want to know more, okay? And they're very receptive to new ideas. Okay? So they're curious, they want to know more, they're receptive, they work not only well with others, but independently. They participate critically in not only what's going on around them, but in the world as well. So in a classroom of engaged students, this classroom sometimes scares teachers. Okay, I know it did me at first because the kids are always moving as they're going from group to group because they're frequently discussing what other groups have come up with. They're interested, they're highly engaged, and my favorite is organized chaos. It might look like the room is erratic, but if you went to any individual student, they could give you an in-depth synopsis of what they are doing right now and verbally be able to explain the learning that's happening. So in Cambridge Primary, we'll start this journey with math, science, and ELA, but also following the Florida state standards and infuse them with the Cambridge frameworks. And then the global perspectives is embedded through social studies and ELA. And I'll explain a little bit more about global perspectives in a moment. So this is what we call our mapping guide because we still are required to meet the Florida standards. Our students are going to be tested on it. But we have on one side the Florida standards and then the Cambridge standards next to it. So our teachers are able to easily say, okay, this is the Florida standard. How can I infuse these Cambridge standards right along with it? So they're getting both curriculums pretty much at the same time. The primary global perspectives is information that is brought to the children in a series of challenges. The students work through the challenge to become independent and active lifelong learners. They are going to be working on activities where they have to make decisions about information and more often than not present the information out to others. Okay. They also will guide the students to become learners and consider how they not only connect to what's happening locally, but how they connect to the global world as well. So this is just a little video about the global perspectives. Is it gonna go? Sound okay?
Global Perspectives allows students to study outside of their own comfort zone. They cover subjects which often they would never look at, perhaps until later in life. And I would hope that they are better people as a result of looking and studying this subject.
One of the main skills that Global Perspectives gives me is cross-cultural collaboration.
It's such a good way of connecting with people because so you can share information and not just the information you've found.
One of the great things about the Cambridge GPR class is that it teaches students how to think in a non-formulaic way. It teaches them how to look at and analyze problems and issues.
If you're looking to become involved in the Cambridge program, it's something, if you like being creative, if you like, relying on independent thought and building from there, it's definitely something for you. It will prepare you for higher education afterwards.
So I know the focus in that video was a lot of older students talking about global perspectives, but this slide then now shows that our youngest kiddos, so these are pictures of our students in kindergarten, first and second grade, who just recently completed a global perspectives. And you can just see some of the pictures of them doing their work and participating in these challenges. So I asked some teachers about what did they think about it, and I asked a parent what they thought about it as well as their students completed this challenge. So the first one is Mary Serenity. She's a second grade teacher here at our school. She said, I can see how it helps the children understand more, see different cultures, and be more global. The second quote is from a parent here. She not only has a parent of a third grader here at Northwest, she also has a daughter who's a sixth grader at Hudson Middle School in their Cambridge program. And she said, my husband and I knew right away that this is something we would like our children to take advantage of. My daughter Kaylee applied for school choice to take the Cambridge courses for sixth grade and is enjoying every minute of it. My son Derek is in third grade and he enjoyed the Global Perspectives unit. And the final quote is from a first grade teacher here at Northwest, Miss Lindsay Lopez. In the 5 days that I taught the Cambridge Family Matters unit, I was able to learn so much about my students, which is something that we as teachers do not really have time to delve into, unfortunately, with our day-to-day curriculum. It was an engaging and different way to incorporate our own family life and also learn about ways of life in Africa. My students thoroughly loved to see pictures of each other's families. I've never seen them so excited and ask so many good questions as well. I felt like it brought us closer together as a classroom family too. So those are just some of the great things that are happening with Cambridge here at Northwest Elementary. If you did not know, Northwest Elementary is temporarily on the Hudson Elementary old campus because our campus is in the middle of a renovation. So not only are we having a world-class curriculum, next year we hope to have a world-class building as well. And so Ms. Reynolds, our principal, is going to speak a little bit more about that process.
Absolutely. Just like what Ms. Holloman said, we are at a temporary location. Our facility was originally built in 1974, and it was what's called a Kelly building. What was interesting about a Kelly building is that they didn't have any windows or walls in the building. So teachers had to get real creative when it came to their classroom space and utilize cabinets and different ways to create walls to help with sound. Because me, when I teach, I'm a very loud person, whereas maybe my partner was a little bit more soft-spoken. And so my voice would travel and carry across the building. So with us becoming a Cambridge school, and also our school being under construction, we now can have a state-of-the-art facility for us to enjoy, hopefully in around June. So Ms. Holloman, if you could click, I just wanted to show some of the progress that's being made. This is the front of our building. This is our car loop area. This would be the main entrance where you would walk in. As you can see, they're starting to do some construction there. If you look over to the left, you will see some cutouts. And those cutouts are actually windows that they are adding in the building to bring in some of that natural light. So that's going to be like prime real estate, because when you're in a building where there's no windows or doors or walls, it's really hard to tell what it looks like on what's happening on the outside, whether it's sunning or raining or whatever. So now that we're going to have some windows put in the building, I know the teachers and staff are going to be really excited about that. The next picture is a picture of our media center. And what's really neat about Northwest is that the media center is the heartbeat or the hub of our school. As you can see, we're standing right in the middle of the media center. And if you look over to the left and to the right, you will see little entryways, and those are the hallways that lead down to the classrooms. So you can see where the media center, you have to walk through the media center to really get to any classroom space or to get to our special area places, art, music, and PE. You also have to walk through there to get to our ESE building, where we have pre-K and we have some special needs friends. And so this is really the hub of our school. And you can also see where they are adding in some natural light and some windows to bring in that space and to make that space really come alive. We're super excited when we get to go back, when we're talking about our global perspectives and thinking about what that could look like. In my mind, I envision that media center being, as Ms. Holloman said earlier, like active and engaged chaos. Like I see kids talking and communicating and creating, and I just can see that space really coming to life with our global perspectives, to tie that back into Cambridge when we go back. The next picture is a really exciting picture. And this is a picture of what some of the classroom spaces will look like. You can see, if you look over to the left, where they're starting to build some walls. Yay, we're gonna have some wall space. And then you can see all the cutouts going across the right side of the picture. Those are all cutouts where they will be placing windows. So again, really drawing in that natural light and making the space feel very warm. Also, for security purposes, it will be a state-of-the-art facility as far as having cameras, having a buzzer system, being really secure, for keeping all of our exterior doors locked. We will have a certain system for you to be able to access and get in. So not only is it going to be absolutely beautiful, but it's also going to be very secure. The next picture that we wanted to share has to do with our students who need some additional support. These are our ESE friends, and their building is also getting a nice facelift. So they're not just focusing on our main building, but we have a second building that will also be getting a facelift, so that we can also support some of our neediest friends and make sure that they too also have the latest and the greatest, so that they can be successful in school as well. And then the final picture we wanted to share has to do with, this sounds kind of silly, but these are bathrooms that are being built on the exterior of the school. And the bathrooms are for any of the students who will be in PE or who will be playing on the playground. So it's really nice that we will have an area for kids to utilize the bathrooms, and they can be supervised by the teacher or the PE coaches. And it's just another wonderful addition to our building. So we're super excited about the progress that they're making, and we can't wait to see the final product, because we know it's just going to be absolutely beautiful.
So if you have any questions or want more information, this is my contact email. So again, my name is Caroline Holloman. I am the Cambridge Program Coordinator. So if you have any specific questions that come up later that you don't have this evening, you can always email me, or you can go to our school website and contact me through there. We do have a Cambridge page on our school website as well that has additional information about the program, especially for parents, that are linked there on the site. If you have any questions for us now, feel free to ask. If you have any other questions this evening, you can go to the exhibitors table. Ms. Shaw is there waiting for anybody who has any specific questions that didn't get answered tonight or come up later in the evening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you. If you have any questions, please email me at any time.
Yep.
Will do. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.